So I just want to know what's the story or what's the accident behind this accidental author tag that you have. So far you have published 4 books, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
4, right? So what's your favorite book? Before we start anything, the biggest question that I have for you is like everywhere I read about you, be it in your book blurbs or be it in your social media, it's like an accidental author. So I just want to know what's the story or what's the accident behind this accidental author tag that you have.
I think it's I don't know if who gave me this tag. I don't know if no, I don't think I did it myself. I think somebody from some social media world tagged me this first time, and then it just became a thing because my stories, my writings were about like in my first book I shared I used to live in New York and all of that,
Yes.
and then I ended up going to Amazon's, and that's how my writing journey began, not the career part. So it was I never expected that to happen. I never went to literature school or anything, or anybody in my family comes from this kind of stream, so it was all like unexpected, and all my writing I've learned just from reading.
Right.
So yeah, I guess from past lives I got this talent. I don't know where it came from.
At the end of the day, you're enjoying the writing, right?
Yeah, still as even today I don't think of myself as a writer. To be honest, I just like to capture visions of some stories that I see, I envision, I imagine, and how I envision the world to be, how I envision the human consciousness to be, humanity to be, and how does that correlate with understanding of creating stories that are simple and relatable, and still
Right.
understanding the philosophy behind operating systems of those simple people. So I think the idea is to find a really nice balance between like teachings, indirect teachings and philosophies, and storytelling. Because
Right.
I think stories are very powerful. Humans are storytellers, and
Absolutely.
we've just shared our history, our everything with stories. So stories is what we connect with. Like right now I'm telling you a story.
Absolutely agree. Even your previous book, Life Unknown, is my absolute favorite. It just inspired me to, get out of the 4 walls of your house and just find your own self. So it's very refreshing and inspiring, and it's very lovely to read your books. And your writing style is amazing. I should mention that.
Thank you.
So yeah, just to ask, so far you have published 4 books, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
4, right? So what's your favorite book
So,
apart from all the 4
one
published?
of them is kind of like a guided journal, so I wouldn't call it a proper novel.
Right,
So
right.
3 are proper books, novels, like Dream Beyond Shadows, Life Unknown, and UNHERD. I actually think UNHERD is my favorite. I've realized UNHERD to be my favorite book, and it's turning out to be a favorite for many people, so I'm happy to see that. But it's also the book I enjoyed writing the most, actually. I enjoyed writing UNHERD the most. And yeah, so UNHERD would be my favorite for sure.
Right. So yeah, Unheard. I have read this book, and how did this inspire? This is a fictional take in a non-fictional way. How did the all storytelling happen? How did the story come into your mind? Is it inspired something from your real life journey, or is it all just from your imagination?
So I personally have realized, as me as a creator, as an artist, every artist is different. The way they create is different. Some writers do a lot of research before thinking. They create a lot of plot line, blah blah blah. Me, I'm not at all like that. So for me, story comes to me as I'm writing it. So not much goes into the thinking aspect of it. It's very like my writings are very Zen writing. They're very meditative for me to write because I write like while channeling almost. So this story and the one I'm working on now, they're all kind of like even I don't know what's going to happen in the story. And that's why I enjoy writing UNHERD so much, a fictional book, and I'm gonna continue exploring fiction is because I love it that you can just write anything that flows into the story and somehow integrates. So the imagination side of it is so amazing of fiction writing that I don't think anymore. I just let my imagination run wild when I'm writing. And I find it amazing to do that, actually. It's like a drug.
How much time did it take for you to write this and compile the all unheard stories together? How much time did it take?
So UNHERD was written and finished by me in like 8, 9, 10 months, something like that. The editing part of it from the editor's side, getting it ready for the publication and all that took much longer actually. It took almost 1 year to get all of that done. So for my first two books, it was actually a smoother experience to get them out. This book for me was very hard to get out, really hard. It's really hard to, it was just to get it published, it was very hard.
Right. I'm so glad that this book finally came out. It's inspiring a lot of people though. So yeah, thank you for writing this, I should say.
Thank you.
I just love this book. I don't know if do you have any message for the people who still haven't read it or are yet to pick it up? Any one-liner or a one sentence that this is the message I'm trying to spread through Unheard, to go pick it up.
Message is very simple. That look, I think it's a very important message for today's time. I feel like as a human, as a citizen of India, as a citizen of this world, if I can give a message today to people through my works is about love, unity, freedom, of exploration, inner and outer, and of truth. There's no one truth in the world, and I feel like we have gotten to a point as a civilization. Sadly, it's a very sad reality today, because the way people are fighting, the hatred, and the separation amongst humanity in forms of religion, color, and all these nationalities, it's not good. It really is a distraction from our highest form of purpose of why we are here, and it goes completely opposite of spiritual traditions and lineages of India and of unison that yoga and meditation teaches us, or any great saint or teacher or writer or these orators from this country have given India for thousands of years of vast knowledge of inner exploration. And I think that is completely missing in practice in today's India. People are becoming less tolerant, and that's not healthy. That's not who we are. It's not in our DNA. Our DNA is to bring self-realization to humanity. India is the land of self-realization and truth and inner wisdom and tolerance and patience and compassion and love. So I think this is what the book provides the message with, in a form of a story of a person who anybody can relate with, of characters who modern society Indians, young Indians can understand and relate to. I think that this has been the biggest why behind my writing, and especially writing this book.
So I totally agree. Also, I just wanted to ask, like in your previous works, you have mentioned traveling as a very important part of your journey, and also meditation and yoga just comprises so much of your life. So what's more fun for you, getting out of your comfort zone, traveling to the unknown paths, or just sitting down, meditating and concentrating at a single place? What is your view?
I think the key word for me is balance, which I'm trying to work on all the time, is to go do both, life is about balance, and everyone's balance is different. Your balance is going to be very different than my balance, but the key is to try and do things that you love at the same time, to take time to integrate them. You need to find your balance, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. You need to know how much to push, how much to pull, fine balance of push and pull. You need to really figure out.
So, Unheard is all about finding your inner self. It's a story of love, wisdom, and courage. So, there are many people who struggle with self-esteem. So, do you have any message for those people? Like, what are the main things they should follow to, develop confidence, or, develop that courage inside themselves, who face this problem of self-esteem and, self-doubt every time? What will be your advice?
I don't really like giving a lot of advice to people, to be honest, because I think advices can be very misleading. I think the best advice I personally feel, which I give to myself as well, to really explore that feeling or whatever you're coming, where is it coming from? Start asking questions like, what is self-esteem? Who feels insecure? So you need to go through a journey of discovering self-esteem, and what is self-esteem, who's self-esteem, who are you, what are you. So the advice is to not follow so many advices, but to do the work and go inside and ask for yourself what's happening, because nobody else can tell you what's happening inside you. You need to figure that out. You can go out, party, have fun, all of that, it's good. I do that a lot. I'm a big party guy actually, But I equally meditate, I do my practice, I do my sadhana, I eat healthy. So it's like creating that balance that works for you, you know.
That was good to hear. So yeah, last but not least, thank you so much, Kartikeya, for doing this and taking out time for this. I highly, highly recommend this book to everyone watching the live or will watch it later. Thank you for writing this, Atlas. Thank you for this journey that you're
Thank you for
taking us
having me.
through.
Take care.
Thank you.